My mom warned me. She's only after your money. I defended my fiancée. Then I faked losing my job to test her. My fiancée packed her bags within an hour. I sent her a photo of my bank balance with the caption, "Mom was right." And then, original post. I, 32 male, need to share this because I still can't believe it actually happened. 6 months ago, my mom sat me down over coffee. She just met my fiancé, 28, for the third time. We'd been together 18 months, engaged for 2. Son, I need to say something and you're not going to like it. I knew that tone. Mom, please don't. She's after your money. I'm sorry, but someone has to say it. I got defensive, really defensive. Told her she was being judgmental, that she didn't know my fiancé like I did, that not everyone was materialistic. My fiancé came from a rough background, worked retail management, had student loans. She wasn't some trust fund kid. She loved me for me. Mom just looked sad. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. We didn't talk for 2 weeks after that. My fiancé knew something was up, kept asking. I told her my mom said something hurtful. She pressed for details. I caved and told her. Her reaction? Tears. So many tears. How could my mom think that? She loved me. Money didn't matter. We could live in a cardboard box, and she'd be happy. I felt like garbage. Apologized to her over and over. Promised her my mom would come around. Bought her a new bracelet to make up for it. $800. She deserved it after that awful accusation. But the seed was planted. Mom's words kept echoing. I started noticing things. How she always suggested the expensive restaurant. How she'd hint about designer bags when we walked past stores. How she talked about her friend's engagement ring being tiny compared to hers. How she never offered to pay for dates, just assumed I would. Small things. Alone, they meant nothing. Together, they bothered me. 2 weeks ago, I decided to test it. Yeah, I know how that sounds. But I needed to know. I work in tech sales. Make about $180,000 a year. Not crazy rich, but comfortable. My fiancé knew my job was stable, knew I had savings, knew I owned my condo outright. Monday morning, I came home early. She was getting ready for her shift. I looked devastated. Babe, I need to tell you something. She looked up from her makeup. What's wrong? I got laid off. They did massive cuts. Half the sales team is gone. Her face froze. The mascara wand stopped midair. What? Budget cuts. Economy. They gave us 2 months severance, but that's it. I'm so sorry. I know we have the wedding coming up in 2 months. Her voice was sharp. That's like what? $30,000. Interesting, she knew my monthly salary that precisely. After taxes, yeah, about that. She put down the mascara. Didn't say it's okay, or we'll figure it out, or any of the supportive stuff I'd have said if roles were reversed. Just stared at her phone. I need to get to work. We'll talk later. Okay. Love you. She grabbed her purse. Yeah. Bye. No, love you too. First time in 18 months. I worked from my spare bedroom that day. She didn't know I still had my laptop and work set up. Told her I needed it for job hunting. Had 3 video calls with clients. Closed a deal worth $50,000 commission. She came home at 6 p.m. Distant. Quiet. Said she was tired, ordered pizza on her own card for once. Ate in the bedroom watching TV. Tuesday morning, I went heavier. Babe, I'm freaking out. Checked our savings. We might need to postpone the wedding. The venue deposit is non-refundable, but maybe we can do something smaller next year. She was putting on her work uniform. Froze again. Postpone. Just until I find something. I'm applying everywhere, but the market is rough. Might take 6 months, maybe more. We could do a courthouse thing now and a party later. Her jaw tightened. I need to think about this. What's there to think about? We love each other, right? The wedding is just a party. It's not just a party to me. This is my one wedding. I've been planning this for months. I know, but I have to go. I'm late. She left without kissing me goodbye. Also a first. That evening, she was on her phone constantly. Texting someone. Wouldn't let me see the screen. Said it was her friend having drama. Went to bed early again. Wednesday morning, I played my final card. Unemployment office said I might not qualify because of how the severance is structured. We might need to sell the condo. Move somewhere cheaper. That did it. She looked at me like I'd slapped her. Sell the condo? It's worth about $400,000 now. Paid off. We could sell, Rent something smaller. Use the money to live on until I find work. You want me to move into a rental? After living here? It's temporary. Just until. I can't do this. She stood up. I can't live like this. Uncertain. Unstable. I grew up poor. I swore I'd never go back to that. So you're saying you'd leave me over money? I'm saying I can't be with someone who can't provide stability. That's not wrong. That's smart. Smart. Like it was a business decision. So that's it. I lose my job and you're done. Don't make me the bad guy here. I have needs. Expectations. You met them when we got together. Now you can't. That's not my fault. Expectations. Like I was a subscription service. Give me a few days to think, she said. I need space. She went to work. I waited. 4 p.m., I got a text. Coming home early to pack some things. Staying with my friend for a bit. Need to clear my head. 5:15 p.m., she walked in with her friend. The same friend who apparently had all that drama yesterday. They went straight to the bedroom. I sat in the living room, listening to drawers opening and closing. Hangers scraping. Zippers zipping. 40 minutes. That's how long it took her to pack up 18 months of our life together. She came out with 2 suitcases and 3 bags. Her friend carried a box of shoes. I'll get the rest later, she said. Not I'll be back. Or this is temporary. Just a logistics update. So you're leaving. I need space. Like I said, space. Right. I pulled out my phone. Opened my banking app. Took a screenshot of my checking account balance. $147,382. Then my savings. $238,456. Then my investment account. $312,883. Sent all 3 to her in a text. Added, Mom was right. Her phone buzzed. She looked down. Her face went white, then red, then white again. What? I still have my job. Never lost it. Had a call with clients an hour ago. This was a test. You failed spectacularly. Her friend's mouth dropped open. My fiancé just stood there, suitcases in hand. You lied? You tested me. You left me over money within 48 hours. Yeah, I'd say the test revealed some important information. That's manipulative. That's psychotic. What's psychotic is packing your bags before even trying to work things out. What's psychotic is dating someone for 18 months and bailing the second things get hard. Her friend tried to intervene. You can't just trick people like that. And you can't just use people as ATMs and call it love. Get out. Both of you. We need to talk about this. My fiancé was crying now. You don't understand. I panicked. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking very clearly. You were calculating. I saw it happen in real time. Please, can we just... No. Leave your key on the counter. You made your choice. She stood there for a solid minute. Her friend whispered something. Finally, she put the key down. Hard. It skittered across the granite. You're going to regret this. I already regret 18 months. I'll survive. They left. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the pictures on the wall. I sat there in the quiet, weirdly calm. Then I called my mom. Hey, sweetie. Everything okay? You were right. About everything. I'm sorry I didn't listen. Silence. Then, oh honey. What happened? I told her. Everything. She listened without interrupting. Come over for dinner tomorrow, she said finally. We'll figure out next steps. Next steps? Weddings canceled, I assume. Deposits to deal with. Venue contracts. She's going to make this difficult, isn't she? Mom knows people. Yeah, probably. We'll handle it. Together. That was 3 days ago. Already got 32 texts from my fiancé, ranging from apologetic to angry to desperate. Blocked her number this morning. Her friend tried to call from her phone. Blocked that too. My best friend thinks I went too far. You set her up, man. That's cold. Maybe. But better to find out now than after the wedding. Update 1, 5 days later. Things escalated fast. Buckle up. First, my fiancé showed up at my door Thursday morning. 7 a.m. I was getting ready for work. Doorbell rang. Checked the camera. Her, looking like she hadn't slept. No makeup. Yoga pants and a hoodie. Didn't open the door. Talked through the ring. What do you want? Please let me in. We need to talk. We don't. 5 minutes. Please. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I was scared and stupid, and I wasn't thinking straight. You were thinking very straight. You calculated your exit strategy in under 48 hours. That takes planning. I panicked. I grew up poor. You don't understand what that does to someone. Plenty of people grow up poor and don't bail on their partners the second things get tough. She started crying. Real tears this time, not the pretty ones. I love you. I really do. The money stuff it triggered something. I need therapy, I know, but we can work through this. Please. You chose money over me. That's not something you work through. That's who you are. That's not who I am. I made one mistake. You made a choice. Own it. What about the wedding? What about our plans? What about them? You packed your bags. Those plans died when you walked out with your suitcases. I'm not giving up on us. There is no us. There's you, realizing you lost access to a comfortable lifestyle. That's what you're fighting for. Not me. I closed the Ring app. She stayed on my doorstep for 20 minutes before leaving. Got to work. 3 emails from her in my personal account. Long ones. Essays about childhood trauma, fear of poverty, making mistakes, deserving second chances. Move them to spam. Lunchtime, her mom called. Didn't have her number saved. Answer by accident. You need to forgive my daughter. Hello to you too. She made a mistake. She's human. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. She left me over money. That's who she is. She panicked. She has anxiety about finances because of how we grew up. You don't understand how hard it was for us. I understand that lots of people have financial trauma and don't abandon their partners. She made a choice. I'm respecting that choice. You tricked her. You lied. I tested her character. She revealed it. That's on her, not me. The wedding is in 4 months. Do you know how humiliating this is for her? Should have thought about that before packing her bags. I'm calling your mother. We'll sort this out as families. You do that. My mom already knows the whole story. She won't be sympathetic. She hung up, not before telling me I was making the biggest mistake of my life. That afternoon, the real mess started. The venue. I put down an $8,000 deposit on my card. Contract said non-refundable unless canceled 180 days out. We were at 120. Called them. Explained the situation. They were sympathetic, but firm. Policy is policy. Deposit is lost. Fine. I could eat $8,000 to be rid of her. Cheap lesson, really. Then my fiancé's friend posted something on social media. Didn't tag me, but it was obviously about me. Some people show their true colors when they have power. Manipulation and cruelty aren't tests of love. They're abuse. Praying for my friend who deserves so much better than a narcissist who plays games with people's emotions. Didn't respond. But my friend saw it. Started asking questions. I explained what actually happened. Word spread fast. The narrative shifted. People who knew us both were commenting, wait, she left him because she thought he lost his job? Her friend tried to control it. More posts about financial abuse and manipulation tactics and gaslighting. But the story was out. She left at the first sign of trouble. Most people saw through the spin. Friday evening, my fiancé sent a different kind of message. Not apologetic. Angry. You know what? You're right. I made a choice. And I'm glad I found out before the wedding that you're the kind of person who plays games and manipulates people. You're sick. I deserve better than someone who would test me like that. Have a nice life alone. Hope your money keeps you warm at night. Finally, the real person underneath. Didn't respond. Saturday morning, here's where it got legally interesting. Got an email from a lawyer's office. Her lawyer. She's demanding $15,000 for emotional distress caused by my fraudulent behavior. Half the venue deposit refund, which doesn't exist because it's non-refundable. $3,200 for her engagement ring to be returned to me, with the provision that I then pay her that amount for time and emotional investment in the relationship. I actually laughed out loud. Call my own lawyer. Family friend who does contract stuff. He read the demand letter. This is nonsense. You can't sue for emotional distress because someone pretended to lose their job. And the ring stuff? She left you. She has no legal right to compensation. So I ignore it. I'll respond. Professionally. Basically telling them to pound sand, but in legal language. What about the ring? That's trickier. Depends on the state. Engagement ring is generally conditional on marriage happening. Marriage isn't happening. You could legally demand it back. I want it back. Then we demand it back. She has two options: return it or we sue for its value. That was yesterday. His response went out this morning. Firm but polite. My client rejects all demands. The engagement ring must be returned within 7 days or legal action will follow. All further communication must go through this office. Waiting to see how she responds. Meanwhile, I told my mom everything. She wants to meet me for dinner tomorrow. Said she has some things to tell me that I need to hear. Not sure what that means, but it sounds ominous. Update 2. 2 weeks later. Mom's dinner was eye-opening in ways I didn't expect. We met at her place. She made my favorite meal, which should have been my first clue something heavy was coming. So, she said once we sat down, I need to tell you something I probably should have said months ago. About my fiancé, about your father. That stopped me. Dad died when I was 8. Heart attack. Don't remember much. Your father was a good man, but he had a problem. He attracted users. She pulled out her phone. Showed me photos I'd never seen. Dad with different women before he met Mom. Several of them. He dated 3 women seriously before me. All 3 left him when money got tight. He had a business that went under when he was 26. First girlfriend gone within weeks. Started another business at 29. Did well. New girlfriend. Business hit a rough patch. She left. Third girlfriend lasted longest. But when he told her he wanted to leave corporate and start his own firm, she said she couldn't be with someone unstable. I didn't know any of this. He didn't talk about it, but he told me before we got married. Wanted me to understand why he was so careful. Why he tested me. He tested you? 6 months in, he told me his business was failing. It wasn't. He wanted to see how I'd react. I stared at her. What did you do? I told him we'd figure out together. Asked if he needed help with his resume. Offered to get a second job. Started looking at cheaper apartments we could move into. She smiled. He proposed 2 weeks later. Told me the truth. Said he'd never met anyone who stood by him instead of running. So, this runs in the family? The attraction to gold diggers. You're successful, kind, and trusting. Yes, you'll attract people who see opportunity. Your father learned to spot them. I learned from him. I try to teach you, but some lessons you have to learn yourself. We sat there for a minute. Then she said, she's going to get worse before this is over. They always do. How much worse? She'll try to make you look like the villain. She'll recruit people to her side. She'll threaten legal action she can't follow through on. She might even try to sabotage your reputation. How do you know? Because your father's exes did all of that. One showed up at his office claiming he owed her money. Another told people he'd been abusive. The third tried to get him fired by calling his boss with fake complaints. What happened? Nothing. Because he documented everything. Kept records. Stayed calm. Let their lies fall apart under scrutiny. That's what you meant by next steps. Document everything. Every text. Every call. Every interaction. When she falls apart. And she will. You'll have proof of the truth. Mom was right. Again. The next day, my fiancé violated the contact through lawyers only rule. Texted from yet another new number. I'm keeping the ring. You humiliated me and manipulated me. Consider it payment for wasting 18 months of my life. Screenshot. Sent to my lawyer. He responded to her lawyer. Your client has acknowledged possession of the ring and refuses to return it. We will file in small claims court for its value, $12,800, plus court costs. You have 48 hours to advise your client to comply before we proceed. Her lawyer probably told her she'd lose. 3 hours later, I got a notification. Package at the front desk of my building. The ring. In its original box. No note. No apology. Just a ring. I should have felt victorious. Most I just felt tired. But then came the really stupid part. She couldn't help herself. Her friend posted again. This time a photo. My fiancé, crying, holding a wine glass. Long caption about narcissistic abuse and men who use their money to control women and psychological manipulation. The post got traction. People who didn't know the full story were commenting support. You deserve better. What a monster. Sue him. One of my friends commented the actual story. She left him within 48 hours when she thought he lost his job. He never lost it. She chose money over love. That's what actually happened. Her friend doubled down, claimed I was spreading lies, that I was rewriting history to make myself look better. Then another friend chimed in. Another. The whole truth came out in the comments. Screenshots of her texts started appearing. Not from me. From mutual friends she'd vented to. Turns out she'd been pretty explicit about the money stuff with people. One screenshot. I can't live like this. What if he never finds another good job? I'm not going to struggle like my mom did. Another. He wants to sell the condo. I'd have to live in some apartment like I'm 22 again. The post got deleted fast, but screenshots live forever. They spread to other platforms. By that evening, people who'd been on her side were quietly unfriending her. The narrative she tried to build collapsed under the weight of her own words. Her mom called me again. Different tone this time. You've destroyed her reputation. I didn't do anything. Her own words did that. You could ask people to stop. Tell them to take down the screenshots. Why would I do that? They're her words. She said them. If she's embarrassed, that's because she should be. You're cruel. I'm honest. There's a difference. She hung up. Yesterday, my fiancée sent one final text from her original number. I'd unblocked it to see if she'd comply with the ring return. I hate you. I hope you end up alone forever. You don't deserve love. You deserve to die alone with your money. Screenshot. Sent to my lawyer. His response. Keep that one. If she escalates to actual harassment, we'll need it for a restraining order. Today, I called the wedding venue. Explained everything. They were surprisingly understanding. We can't refund your deposit, but we do have a cancellation list. If someone books your date, we could potentially offer you a credit toward a future event. I appreciate that. And sir, for what it's worth, you dodged a bullet. We see this stuff sometimes. People who are only here for the Instagram photos, not the marriage. Yeah, I'm realizing that. I also called the other vendors. Photographer was cool about canceling, said they'd only charge $500 of the $3,000 deposit, since it wasn't my fault. Caterer kept their full $2,000 deposit per contract. DJ refunded everything because we'd only done a small deposit and he felt bad for me. Total damage, about $10,500 in lost deposits, plus the emotional cost. But honestly, cheap price for the truth. Update 3, 1 month later. Final update because this needs to end. The legal stuff wrapped up fast. Her lawyer sent a curt email. Our client has returned the ring. We are withdrawing our demands. Please consider this matter closed. My lawyer agreed. Both parties will cease all contact. Done. Legally, anyway. But my ex-fiancée couldn't leave it alone. Last week, she tried one more manipulation. I got a call from a mutual friend, one who'd stayed neutral through all this. Hey man, I need to tell you something. What's up? Your ex contacted me. She's saying she's pregnant. My stomach dropped. What? She told 3 different people. Says you got her pregnant and then dumped her when she needed you most. Whole new victim narrative. That's impossible. You sure? 100% sure. We stopped being intimate 2 months before the fake job loss thing. I was working on a big deal, barely home, and she was always complaining about it. So she's lying? She's lying. That's what I thought. But she's telling people. Her mom posted something vague about new challenges and being a grandmother. The implication is obvious. I call my lawyer. Explain the new lie. That's defamation if she's saying you abandoned a pregnant woman. But we need proof she's lying. How do I get proof of something that doesn't exist? You can't prove a negative. But if she's claiming pregnancy, there's a timeline. And medical records. If she tries to make this official, we can challenge it. She won't make it official. She's too smart for that. She'll just let the rumor spread. Then we wait. Liars always slip up. Took 3 days. Her best friend posted a birthday brunch photo. My ex in the background. Champagne glass in hand. Caption: mimosas and birthday wishes. Screenshot. Sent to every person she'd told about the pregnancy. Interesting how pregnant women could drink champagne. Almost like she's lying. The pregnancy story collapsed faster than the original narrative. People started questioning everything she'd said. Her credibility was gone. Her mom called one last time. You're harassing her. I'm getting a lawyer. Tell your lawyer that making false pregnancy claims is defamation. I have documentation of everything. If she keeps lying, I'll sue for real. She's been through enough. She's done this to herself. Every single bit. I gave her a good life, a good relationship, and the second she thought the money was gone, she ran. Then she lied about it. Then she lied about being pregnant. These are her choices, not mine. You tested her, and she failed. That's not my fault. Haven't heard from any of them since. The venue actually came through. Someone booked my date for a corporate event. They're giving me a $5,000 credit for any future event within 2 years. Not a full refund, but something. Work is good. Better than good, actually. Without the stress of wedding planning and the relationship, I'm focused. Closed 2 major deals this month. Boss commented on my improved performance. Mom and I have dinner every week now. She's been sharing more stories about Dad, about how he learned to protect himself while staying open to real love, about how he almost gave up before he met her. You know what he told me on our 5th anniversary? She said last week. He said, I'm so grateful I learned to see the difference between someone who loves me and someone who loves what I can provide. That discernment saved my life. Think I have that now. I think you're learning it. Your father learned it the hard way, too. Most people do. I asked if she ever regretted that he tested her. Never, because it meant I knew, absolutely knew, that he trusted me. Not my words, not my promises, but the truth of who I was when things got hard. That foundation made everything else stronger. Last night, I was cleaning out the spare closet. Found a box of stuff my ex-fiancée left behind. Clothes, some books, random items. Texted her mom, I have a box of belongings. Please arrange pickup within 1 week, or I'm donating it. Her response, keep it all. She doesn't want anything that reminds her of you. Fine with me. Donated the whole box this morning. Goodwill was grateful. Looking back at all this, people keep asking if I regret the test. The answer is no. Not even a little. Do I wish I'd chosen better in the first place? Yeah. Do I wish I'd listened to my mom sooner? Absolutely. But the test itself? That revealed the truth. And truth is always better than a comfortable lie. Some people think it was cruel, manipulative. Maybe it was. But staying with someone who'd leave you the second things got hard? That's not love. That's convenience. My best friend finally came around. You know what? You were right. If she really loved you, she would have been planning how to help, not packing her bags. Exactly. Think you'll date again? Eventually. Not rushing it. While you look for someone who asks, how can I help? When things get tough. Instead of how fast can I leave? That's it. That's the whole story. My ex-fiancée showed me exactly who she was when she thought the money was gone. I'm grateful she did it before the wedding, before kids, before decades of my life were tied to someone who only wanted the lifestyle, not the person. Mom was right. She's always right. And I'm going to make sure I teach this lesson to any future kids I have. Pay attention to how people act when things get hard. That's when you see the truth. As for my ex-fiancée, last I heard, she's dating someone new already. Poor guy. Hope his mom is as smart as mine.